and give people the chance to file back in here, man. But yeah, bro, like I said, living in this particular society, that's just how I view it, bro. You know, it just is what it is. You know, you just have to have a understanding of such things. You know what I'm saying? It's just fundamentally based off the society that we live in. The stream back on, blood. Doggone jump buffer or disconnected. Uh, yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've been trying to communicate to a certain extent. Like sometimes you have to pause and understand where people coming from, their life experiences, and where they've been taught, because that's usually going to shape and form their worldview. You know what I'm saying? And I say, that's something that my auntie communicated to try to understand where people coming from, to see how they arrived to the decisions that they arrived to. And truth be told, if you have a therapist that's worth anything, that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to see things from your point of view. Uh, most people's biggest problem is that you only want to see things from your point of view. That person's not you. Their experiences aren't yours. They weren't raised how you were raised. They didn't see the things that you've seen. They didn't experience the things that you experienced. So therefore, they don't have the capability or ability to see things how you think they should see it. Now, there are some things that are just universal. There's righteousness, things of that nature, which it is what it is, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of things, like I said, like if we was to go to the average person and talk to them about love, they're going to say, "Nah, it's an emotion. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that," because that's what they've been told their entire life. And so when you come and say, "Nah, man, that's something you do," man, people don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that at all. But this is 1 Corinthians 13:1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of Malachim and have not love, I become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can remove mountains and have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed, and though I give my body to be burned and have not love, it profit me nothing. Love suffer long. So again, the first thing that you have to remember is, what is love from a godly point of view? That's long suffering. Now, just in case ain't nobody don't know what that means, we'll run them all down on general principle. And that's to be of a long spirit, to persevere patiently, bravely in enduring misfortunes and troubles, to be patient in bearing the offenses and injuries of others, to be mild and slow in avenging, slow to anger, and slow to punish. A lot of people, they'll say they'll love somebody, but the minute that this person says or does something that they don't like, they're swift and ready to execute wrath, punishment, disrespect, verbal evisceration, and things of that sort. That's not love, according to Yahuwah. Shoot, you ain't even got to be in the word and know that ain't that. Don't nobody love you who quit, man. If somebody, man, if you and a person disagree, man, and the first thing they can do is start to become verbally disrespectful, man, they been felt like that about you. And they were just waiting for the opportunity and circumstance to be able to utter that out their mouth. Now, one thing, man, my people told me a long time ago, man, you can say something to somebody and you can apologize, but man, once them words leave out your mouth and enter into their ears, man, no matter if you say, "I'm sorry, I apologize, I ain't mean that," man, it's too late. You done said that, blood. You done said that out your mouth. And that's a part of making sure that you have control over your emotions. Just because you're angry don't give you license to say anything you want to say out your mouth. Because just because you apologize don't mean this person got to fool with you after that. That's why the book tell you the tongue is but a small member, but can defile the whole body. Like, it's a lot of people really just don't understand that point. Man, you saying you sorry don't change the fact you said them words out your mouth, man. Well, that's how you felt about that person, man. That was in your heart. That man say, man, abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. Boy, that was in your heart. That was in your inward man, boy. There's a part of you, you meant that. Or you said something with the explicit intention of being malicious and spiteful and damaging because you knew those particular words were cut a particular type of way, which still shines poorly on your character at that moment. Because see, a lot of people feel like just because they say they sorry or they feel like they justified, that people still got to fool with you after you done opened up your mouth and said what you said. You know what I'm saying? Man, when you say some crazy junk to me, boy, I ain't fooling with you no more. It ain't no beef or nothing, man. I'm not on that. And it ain't no 3-4 time, but you ain't got but one time to talk sideways to me. It's a wrap, man. I'm not fooling with you no more. At all. Because somebody you love, you wouldn't do that. Now he says love is kind. So again, what are you dealing with kind? It's to show oneself mild, to be kind, to use kindness, also to act benevolently and to show oneself useful. Let's look at the English definition of kind. Remember, we talked about that. You know, you want to be a kind man. Kindness is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. Let's see if I can get some synonyms for you real quick. Now, you look at kindness in regards to chesed, or loving kindness. That's the things that encompasses goodness, compassion, selfless care towards others. When you look at synonyms of it, it's tenderness, warmth, kind-heartedness, beneficence, tender-heartedness, benevolence, attentiveness. No, for sure, my G. Generosity. What is being benevolent? When you look at being benevolent, that's a kind with positive intentions. So when you come to somebody with love and kindness, you're coming with positive or good intentions on what it is that you're seeking to do. See, some people can do some things and run afoul, but that don't mean that they had negative intentions. So you have to be able to ascertain if a person got negative intentions, how they come at you. You know what I'm saying? But like I told you, man, a lot of niggas don't come from no household where everybody love each other, man. You dealing with people ain't never been loved in their entire life. And I ain't saying that to be funny or disrespectful or nothing. People who come from loving environments are going to move, act, and behave differently than people who don't. If niggas ain't never had a group of people they hung with and these people really love each other, man, they ain't going to know how to be no friend to you, man. Man, if they come from a household, man, niggas been beating on them, you know what I'm saying, sexually abusing them, cussing them out, taking advantage of them, man, when they become an adult, man, they ain't going to be able to show no real love for real. They want it, but they don't know how to give it or show it or receive it because they're unaccustomed to it. They don't know what that look like. It's weird to them. You know what I'm saying? I told you, man, my people love me, man. You know what I'm saying? And nigga, I'm still down with all my homeboys to the day. I love my niggas. Like, that's something different. But the difference is when you actually love people and you love yourself, but you don't tolerate no foolishness from nobody, man. I'm not putting up with that because I don't have to. You not finna not show love to me and I'm finna keep you around. You crazy as hell, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You out your goddamn mind. Like, literally. Not even figurative, nigga. You out your goddamn mind. Love envy, if not. So, little bro, when you look at envy, you know, that's to have envy or to covet somebody else's belongings. You know what I'm saying? So, key point, man, if that's your homeboy and you love him, man, you ain't coveting his wife. Again, like, love is an action word. We seen it in Hebrew as an action word. Like I said, that's how I was raised. If you love somebody, you show them that. That's why a lot of love that men show to their families is not appreciated till he dead. Because now he ain't alive to do it no more. So now you realize how much daddy really loved everybody by the work and the sacrifices and the things that he did for the family. But you wanted feelings. So you allowed feelings to cloud your reality to convince you, oh, my husband didn't love me. My daddy didn't love me. You know what I'm saying? So I told you today, emotions and feelings are two different things. Emotions is your physiological response to something. But your feelings is how you perceive something. And your feelings are not necessarily rooted in reality. That's why your feelings are your own business. Another person is not responsible for your feelings because your feelings can distort reality. Your feelings can tell you something is true that is false and something that is false that's actually true. because you're gonna see feelings. You're gonna see things based on how you perceive it, based on how you feel. And that's why we've always talked about you should never be in your feelings, because your feelings will lead you wrong every single solitary time. Your emotions will cause you to react in an improper way. You know what I'm saying? Because you can respond emotionally to something, and that response could ruin your life. But your feelings can deceive you to cause you to see things that are not there, or to believe things that are not happening. That's why you have to crucify them. That's why you have to have them under control and regulated. I'm telling you, them feelings it's nasty work. It's nasty work. That's all I can tell you. Then they tell you that love vaunt not itself up, it's not puffed up. So when you're dealing with love, there is no pride involved. Vaunting oneself is to boast oneself, employing rhetorical embellishments, extolling oneself excessively, a braggart, to boast. It does not behave itself unseemly. You know, unseemly is improper behavior, to act unbecoming. So if you love someone, your love will not cause you to act unbecoming to godliness, unbecoming to Kadash, unbecoming to righteousness. That's not how you're going to behave. Then it says that love seeks not her own. So love is unselfish, and it is not easily provoked, nor does it think any evil. When you look at being easily provoked, that is to arouse to anger, to scorn, to despise, to irritate. There's no way that you got love in you, man, and you just fly off the handle easily at everything. Man, ain't no love in you, man. That's why I say the world will know you, my disciples, if you love one another. And it's based off of these attributes that he's describing. And we went over how Yahushua displayed these attributes, and how his how that was displayed by Yahuwah himself and towards Israel, and forth with displaying these attributes. See, an individual can make their mouth fry fish, and you could throw out all the things you want to throw out. But how you interact and move with people, nigga, I already know, but you ain't got no love in you. Boy, I'm beyond with you, man. If you don't come from no household with no love, man, I'm not even really probably going to listen to you when it comes to that, because you don't have no point of reference if ain't nobody love you for real. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be difficult for you to formulate love if you come from abusive or traumatic situations and circumstances. It's as a child, man, it's going to take you years to really understand what love is, man. To recognize it, to receive it, and to give it. I say that because if you come from an abusive and or a traumatic environment, your framework of love is going to be based off the things that you desire, that you wish you had. So this is what you're going to seek from people, what you wish you had. That doesn't necessarily mean that what you wish you had is actually love. It's the perception of love as you see it, based off of the experience that has altered the way that you think. You know what I'm saying? That's not a negative thing. It's not, it just is. You know what I'm saying? You have to sit back and look at some things just are. Doesn't mean this person's terrible. It means they don't have a foundation and a reference to work from. So that means they're probably going to make a lot of bad decisions repeatedly because they don't have a foundation to work from, because they don't come from that type of environment. What I mean by that, if you come from a loving environment, you're going to know how to handle conflict, because you would have seen that handled according to love. Because I love you, therefore I'm not going to let the issue become bigger than the love. We talk about this plenty of times. Sometimes you can be right and still be wrong, because it's the love has to be more important than being right. A lot of people don't understand that because they don't come from that type of environment. So if you don't come from that type of environment, you don't have a point of reference for that, because you don't know what that looks like. You don't know how you don't let the conflict eat away from the love. People let conflict eat away from the love all the time. And it may not even necessarily be because they don't love this person they were never loved before. They never seen they don't come from a house where people loved each other. So niggas fall out about stuff all the time. See, you can have a disagreement, and you can even cease operations from intimate dealings with somebody, but the love don't go away though. Hey, why y'all coming here with all that noise? You disrespectful. because you're concerned about what you're doing. Like for real, man. Like I don't like I say, man, like that arguing, going back and forth. I don't come from that, man. I'm not finna do that, man. I don't come from that. I don't come from that type of household. I don't come from that type of family. I'm not finna go back and forth. I'm not finna argue with you. If you want to be right and it means so much for you to be right, I'll let you be right and don't fool with you no more. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, me and my homeboy, we ain't had this problem, man. Nigga gonna come to you like, hey, boy, I ain't like XYZ because, boy, you my nigga and I love you, boy. And I don't want to fall out about nothing because, boy, I love you for real, man. So we got to iron this out. Because the love is what's most important, man. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand that if you don't have that in you. See, the love that Yahuwah had for Yasharal, that was most important. That's why he sacrificed himself. That's why he was willing to do that. That's why he was willing to suffer. That's why he was willing to offer his life and shed his blood, because the love was more important than your sin. The love was more important than your unbelief. That's not to justify your unbelief. That's not to justify your sin, but the love was more important. And a lot of people, you don't come telling you don't come from that. No, that's not going to be what it is. A lot of people grow up and you think love is buying somebody off. I just buy you a whole bunch of stuff. That mean I love you. That don't mean you love me, man. He told you they give gifts to all whores. Now, that's not to say that your children are a whore, but you thinking that, okay, that's going to buy them off. But some people, that's how they was raised. They were raised in a household on, that's what love was. I'll just give you stuff. That means I love you. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed with this younger generation, by working in the schools, there's a lot of love with dissimulation. They fall out so quick. And heck, even this current time now, yeah, because people don't come. I'm telling you, man, if you don't come from a loving environment, blood, it's going to be difficult for you. You're going to have a very difficult time maintaining relationships. Yeah, then they came with the love language stuff, which is more self-centered. Because now you need to love me in the way that I want to be loved. If you don't do that, that means you don't love me. That's self-centered. He said the thing, quality time, gift receiving, words of affirmation, all this type of stuff, but it's all self-centered. That's why most people don't want the love of God, because it's not self-centered. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say, oh, no man, anything but love. And that love is the fulfilling of the law. Because what you wouldn't want done to you, you won't do to another. You know what I'm saying? Quite simple. But we don't live in that type of society. You feel me? We don't live in that type of society. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it definitely gets you dug in an emotional frame of mind. And the more you're in an emotional frame of mind, the more that you can be mentally and emotionally manipulated. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like the biggest thing is a lot of people think, you know what I'm saying, that going back and forth, man, I ain't going back and forth with you. I don't come from that. I don't come from that type of household. I don't come from that type of family. I'm not finna argue with you. Believe what you want, I don't care. Call me what you want, I don't care. You don't like me, so what? I don't care. I like me. I love me. So therefore, I can be very deliberate on where I choose to plant that seed of love at. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with my homegirl, man, I grew up with, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, we rolled tight. And she told me that, like, no, I can appreciate that you know where to drop your seeds at and where to cultivate and foster that at. See, when you love yourself, you're going to know where to put your love at. And you can know how to love somebody and still be a professional. I cannot fool with you and still love you. You know what I'm saying? I remember my mama told me a few times, nigga did a couple things. She say, son, I love you, but right now I don't like you based off the things that you're doing. And a lot of people don't know how to make that difference because they let how they feel about you or see you in a moment dictate that love. That's what God trying to teach you. No, that's not what you do. You have to know how to make the separation. Even if this person your enemy, you still need to know how to show love to them. To still be able to behave in this particular way, like we read in 1 Corinthians 13, so that when you do that, they condemned and they going to hell. Yeah, man. That's how the game go, baby. Oh, that's the end of it. And he say love never fails. And that's a fact. The love of God never fails. And if you really had love for somebody, it never fails. Real, genuine love don't fail, man. If it fails, it was never love there. Maybe strong infatuation. And you can be infatuated with somebody in a non-intimate relationship. You know what I'm saying? It could be strong lust, and you can have strong lust for somebody in a non-intimate relationship because you may have a desire for the certain attributes, characteristics, or things that they have. You understand what I'm saying? Like there has to come a point in time when we mature and become adults and begin to interact and see things from an adult frame of mind. That's why I say when I was a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put childish things away. Like I said, right, we live in a society that tell you women mature faster than men, and you know that's a lie. Women mature physically faster than a man. But the reality of the situation is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, women don't mature faster than a man, and men don't necessarily mature faster than women. You know, life itself is going to dictate how fast you mature. Your maturity level is going to be based off of your life experiences and the household that you come from. It's not gender specific. I know men my age that ain't mature right now. I know women my age that are not mature, who I grew up with, ran with, all that. They dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? To get to certain levels of maturity, man, it takes some real deal life experiences, man, that most people don't want to go through to be able to have that maturation process. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shoot. Thank you, man. No, man, look at, man, I'm 45 years old, man. One thing I know, it's not that women mature faster. It's not that men mature faster. Neither side matures faster. People's maturation process is based off of them and a multitude of nuance and societal factors in life experience that dictate the level of maturity that an individual has. Some people are maturer than their age. It has to say, you know, God gives certain people a level of wisdom and understanding at a young age to where they don't think like other people think. You know what I'm saying? And you know that is what it is. It's not gender specific, man. Niggas got to cut that stuff out, man. That junk lame as hell. You know what I'm saying? Junk dumb, don't even make no sense. Because you got 40-plus-year-old women out here clapping booty cheeks, man. Saying some of the dumbest things you'd ever want to hear in your life. And you got 40-plus-year-old men doing the same thing. And y'all know them. See, so those of y'all that are still in your late 20s, now you creeping in your 30s, you starting to probably see that about a lot of your peers, how immature they still are. You know what I'm saying? And the immaturity is seen on how people handle situations and circumstances in their worldview. You know what I'm saying? Like they still operate like a child, like an elementary school student, like a toddler. People get shown that junk real quick, man. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be on point. So I thank the Lord, man. I would never know dummy. But I thank the Lord for it. But I have to give credit to my people for that, though. You know what I'm saying? And for my, you know what I'm saying, older homies, man, I got to give them credit for that, for the game that they gave, which helped foster that level of maturity at a young age to see things for what they are. You know, I have to give my granddaddy, my mama, and my pops credit for that, for instructing the aspect of see things for what they are and not for what you want them to be. You got to see life for what it is and then make decisions based off of that. A lot of people are not told that. So they see things for how they want them to be or how they think they should be. So you're going to make bad decisions for that. I've never looked at anybody and seen them for anything other than who they are. You know what I'm saying? I just told my talking to a couple people I grew up with, my homeboy, my homegirl, and all that there, man. And you know, women ask certain questions. I'm like, nigga, I love you for you, my nigga. Like I know the real you. The you that you don't want other people to know, nigga. We've been down with each other since teens, nigga. Like, not to say this nigga faking, but you know, the certain stuff that you purport, I know why you purport that type of attitude and thought process, nigga. I know how you was raised. I know what you went through. Nigga, I was there when you were going through it. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you know what I've been through. You was there when I was going through it. You know what I'm saying? That's different when you got bonds with people from childhood, man. When you know, hey, man, niggas went through real things together, man. So I know the real you. So, nigga, I love that person. Nigga, I'm gonna love you till I die because you my nigga. That ain't never gonna change, man. Nigga, we could not talk or speak for years, nigga, but that love don't go away, man, if it's real, man. That's why I don't understand how people marry people you don't love this nigga. Why y'all, what's going on with that? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The more you realize that that's the people issue and not gender specific. Yeah, man, it's all inwardly, man. It's not a woman thing. It's not a man thing. It's a son of Adam thing. It's a daughter of Adam thing. That's all it is, man. You know what I'm talking about? But shoot, man, I hope that answered your question clearly. So we was in, dealing how the people perish. Ecclesiastes 12, where was that? I want to finish that. Then I need to knock this out for little Johnny, man. I don't want to delay this on blood too much. But I know we were talking about how he give life too. And maybe we'll just set that to the side. Y'all willing? We'll not set it to the side. We're dealing with his witness. We can use that as a framework. I didn't ask anybody for a chapter today because Lil Johnny already asked for this 2 Kings 6, and I ain't got to it yet. So that's what today's chapter is. So we dealt with the Proverbs, acceptable words. And of course, wise as golds, that the wise motivating is influencing people in a positive fashion. So let's come over here to 2 Kings chapter 6, you dig? I think what that boy say, he said, man, you can't toy with love. He said, when it's conflict, that's when it destroy the love. That's what I told you. But a lot of people play with love, man. Where I'm at with it. 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 1. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing with love too, man, is you shoot to aim to have a positive impact on the people who you come across. Some people don't care what type of impact they have on people. But you always want to shoot to have a positive impact on the people who you come across, man. You know what I'm saying? And I always do this thing, man, if you love people, man, you better love them and enjoy them while you got them. You know what I'm saying? You don't never want to be standing over no casket, man, with regret. You know what I mean? Shalom, my G. What's good with you? Man, this nigga here. This nigga Johnny goes wild, man. You know what I'm saying? That boy been giving Lupe Fiasco hell, boy. You understand me? Hey, I ain't even, when you said you went live the first time, I ain't even think to go look on his page, man. You know what I'm saying? Now you done say the nigga done took it down. This nigga been giving Lupe hell. Hey, and you know what's funny about it, though? Is that people be running across people, man. You don't think they really be knowing word for real. Now you around here looking crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I wish I could have seen that live, man. Man, you supposed to download that whole, man. It is what it is. He ain't wanted to be seen. But you know what I'm saying? So, when you're dealing with godly love, and like I said, we've dealt with that Proverbs 18:24. Yeah, man, because you ain't think he was going to delete it. That's all. You ain't think he was going to go out like that. You know what I'm saying? That probably wasn't good for his image. And you told him his album was trash too. Man, I can't let nobody see that. But see, check it, right? When you look at there's a love that stick closer than a brother. And when you got the Lord telling you, I don't call you servants, but friends. And a friend is an intimate companion. You know what I'm saying? Because his love stick closer than a brother. And I meant, and it's good that we mentioned, especially with eternal life, because we still got to go back and incorporate that with Jonathan and David. You know what I'm saying? When he say your love surpassed the love of women, because Jonathan gave this man a love that stick closer than a brother. And I say, and people, because of the society that we live in, niggas always go to homo stuff because a lot of these things probably gay. And on top of that, let me not say that. A lot of these niggas go to the homo stuff because they never known what it is to have a brother who loves stick that close, man. You understand me? I'm telling you, man, we live in a society and country where niggas is not loved, man. I'm talking about men and women. That's why you see all these arguments and debates and podcasts and all this other type of stuff, man. Because you dealing with people, man, they friends ain't love them. They siblings ain't love them. They parents don't love them. You know what I'm saying? Family members don't love them. You got people walking around unloved, man. Do you understand what walking around unloved for 20, 30 years do to your brain, man? I'm not saying that to be funny, man. That junk do something to you. Man, we were young, man. We already knew, boy, if a nigga felt like his mama ain't loving, boy, that nigga ain't kept out nobody. He ain't even love himself. We knew a nigga like that dangerous, boy. A lot of dudes are, they may not flip out as far as his conduct is concerned if they felt like they daddy didn't love them. But boy, every dude we seen, boy, they felt like they mama ain't love him. Boy, that boy end up coming a stone cold killer. Stone cold killer, he don't care about nothing or no one. Man, I'm telling you, man, to be walking around living with no love, man, that's damaging to the human psyche, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the way it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to go through your formative years into your adolescence, to your pubescence, to your adolescence, to young adulthood, to adulthood, and have very minimal experiences with somebody who actually love and care about you, man. Do you understand what that do to your mentals? I don't think people really understand that, man. That is damaging to the brain, my nigga. That's why I told you, man, when dude told me everybody got, nigga, speak for yourself. That's why nigga have a hard time hearing that. Like, bro, my people love me, bro. I'm not finna sit here and tell you and talk down on my people, man, to make you feel better because your people didn't love you. Boy, that's not my life story, bro. I can't tell that story. I'm going to be lying on my mom. I'm going to be lying on my daddy. I'm going to be lying on my auntie. I'm going to be lying on my grandparents. I'm going to be lying on my uncle. If I say that, because them people ain't never did nothing to me, man. They ain't did nothing but love me, man. I'm not finna lie on them people. I'm not finna do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard. Now, I ain't have a large family, so that's done different. And maybe that was for a reason. I ain't really fool with my daddy people like that. You know what I'm saying? Even now, except for my brother. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 brothers, but one of them, one of them live out of town, but my brother who's still here, and I got one brother, he mentally handicapped. Shoot, I was just with my brother today. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, I love these niggas, man. My people ain't do nothing to me. So I'm not finna say that. I don't come from that. Everybody want people to be traumatized because you traumatized. I sympathize and empathize with your trauma. I don't have that, my nigga. And I'm not finna trauma bond with you and say I got something I don't have. Because the reality is none of us should have it. You know what I'm talking about? That's the reality. We should have all been loved, but the reality is everybody who procreate with each other don't love each other. You know what I'm saying? And the children are the ones who end up suffering because of it. You know what I'm talking about? And that's the reality of it. Because that's not what Yahuwah intended. Ever, at any time. That's not what he intended. See, the reality is when a man and a woman actually get married, the children are supposed to be representative of the love that they have for each other. But the reality that we live in is people bumping genitals and don't really realize in their brain, if you put your male member in a woman's orifice, bro, that's what it was created for, was to inseminate her. Now you have people who have children with people they don't know or don't like or don't want to deal with, and the children suffer because of that. You have immature people who have children. You have drug addicted people who have children. You have evil and manipulative people who have children. You know what I'm saying? Like I just told you, my homegirl I was talking about, man, look here, man. Her mama was on some other type of time. And it definitely altered the course and direction that she went in her life. Which the reality is, if her mama would have loved her, there's a lot of things she probably wouldn't have been engaged in. Like point blank period. Just like I got homeboys, they wouldn't have got the love that they needed. There's things that they probably wouldn't have been engaged in. And that's the detriment of living in a God-forsaken country where the love of God is not promoted and instructed in that particular way. Because even going to church, they try to teach you that love is an emotion. It's a feeling. Man, feelings fade, blood. The love of God is forever. That's how you know it's not an emotion, because emotions and feelings change like the wind, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? But nevertheless, 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 1. And the sons of the prophet said unto Elisha, behold, now the place where we dwell with you is too strait for us. So let's look at what he says when he said this place is too strait for us. And that's Sod Rosh. You know what I'm saying? Narrow, tight, straits, distress, adversary, foe, enemy, oppressor, hard pebble, flint. So, looking in the particular context of this passage, we would look and say this is more than likely has to be that this place is too narrow and tight for us. So let's pause and let's go to Matthew 7, which you all know. 7 and 13. Hey, don't come in here with that. Whoever in there talking, don't come in here with that. You do all that, you need to get out. Enter you in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that lead to destruction, and many there be which go thereat. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which lead unto life, and few there be that find it. Now, when you look at straight in the Greek, it's stenos, it's narrow, it's straight. Now, when you look at a straight or a tight way, most people don't like things tight because it's restrictive. Like I seen a lady today, she said, give me the definition of control, whoop, whoop, de whoop, because dude was talking about, you as a man, if you're going to do X, Y, Z, you got to have control. But like I told y'all, words have meanings, and because people don't really know what words actually mean, they formulate what they mean in their mind. So you hear people say, oh, you trying to control me. But if any of you remember what control means, it's not a negative thing. And I'll read you the definition again. That is the power to influence or direct people's behavior over the course of events, or individual used as a standard of comparison for checking the results of a survey or experiment, or determine the behavior or supervise the running of. It is also the standard or device that provides a consistent benchmark. But we don't want that one. That's dumb. And that's also to have the power to run something in an orderly way. So when you look at running something in an orderly way, or and that's what people don't want. They don't want people to influence their behavior. They don't want the order. When people say that they don't want control, or you're not going to control me. Now, when you look at orderly, that is something that is neatly and methodically arranged. It's well organized. When you're being methodical, what does it mean to be methodical? Which, you know, for the most part, that's being very deliberate, very precise. When you're methodical, you do something in a systematic way, in an established form of procedure. And that's what most people don't like, because they don't want that system, they don't want that order, they don't want that structure. So they're going to kick against that. And that's what that straight gate is referring to. That's why it's a narrow way, because it's a systematic way of operation. It's an orderly way of operation. And in this orderly operation, this man is going to have the ability to influence your behavior and practices. And most people want to do what they want to do. And that's just the reality of the situation. This is verse 2 of 2 Kings chapter 6. Let us go, we pray you, unto Jordan, and take thence every man a beam, and let us make a place there where we may dwell. And he answered, go you. So let's look at a beam. Because they said, let us go ahead and get us a beam. Now that is korah. That's a rafter or a beam or a roof. So this is taking that they want to go and build a home, that everybody might tabernacle there, that they might dwell there. In this instance, this is yeshab, and that's to dwell, to remain, to abide, to be inhabited, to cause cities to be inhabited, so on and so forth. And one said, be content, I pray you, and go with your servants. This is verse 3, by the way. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them, and when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood. But as one was felling a beam, the axe head fell into the water, and he cried and said, alas, master, for it was borrowed. Now, the axe head has fell into the water, and he's cried, master, it was borrowed. Now we want to look at borrowed. Sha'al, Shan, Aleph, and Lamad. This is to ask, to inquire, to borrow, to ask for oneself. So in this instance, it is literally to borrow. Now, what do you take from this piece of information? Let's look at verse 6. The man of Elohim say, where fell it? And he showed him the place, and he cut down the stick and cast it in thither, and the iron did swim. Therefore he said, take it up to you. And he put out his hand and he took it. What do y'all take from verses 5, 6, and 7? He cut down the stick, cast it in the water, and the iron did swim. Now, when you look at swim, that's suf, sa'u, to flow, to overflow, to flood, to float, to cause the float. What do y'all take from verses 5, 6, and 7? Cutting down a tree. They were cutting down wood, and there was one was felling a beam. It fell in the water. Resurrection? That's a good answer. Let's look at felling. It's in the fall, and I guess you know, to fall, to lie, to cast down, to fall of a violent death, to prostrate, to cause the fall, which is obviously he's cutting down a beam. I didn't get it on character, but it's kuf, rosh, and hay. You know, a rafter forming a trench, as it were, an implication, a beam or a roof. I think y'all might remember that one time we were looking at how Yahushua's testimony was representative of that roof in Deuteronomy, or that pitch. Let me pull that out for you real quick. That's not it. Oh, Lord. Well, you all right over there, boy? You going ham, ain't you, boy? Hey. Man, I can't remember what's that now. And who can recall what that passage is about that roof, man? It's escaping my brain. That's not it. That's not it. Either way it goes, we'll revisit it another time. So now when you look at the axe is being used to cut down a tree. No, I ain't talking about that. It's in the law. It might be in Exodus. No, that's not it. I don't know what Joanne got going on. That'll come to me later when I get done. It always do. Oh, there it is. Boom. Deuteronomy 22:8. It say when you build a new house, this is Deuteronomy 22:8. When you build a new house, then you shall make a battlement for your roof, that you bring not blood upon your house, if any man fall from thence. So let's look at what that battlement is, right? Now you're building a new bot, a Kadash bot. And now after you built or Banah or built this Kadash bot, you need to make a battlement. And that's Maka'ah. Meme, Ayin, Kuf, and Hay, a parapet. A low wall at the edge of a balcony along the sides of a bridge. A repress. He said, you need to make this for your roof that you don't bring no blood on your house if any man fall from thence. Now, when you sit back and you look at it, that Mashiach has built this house, whose house we are, he put that little small bridge that if you fall from off that house, meaning you fall away from that word, that blood on you, it ain't on him. Remember when Paul was like, I haven't held back any good thing, ain't no blood on my hands, things of that nature. That's what that's pertaining to. But let's come back to 2 Kings 6 so we can get off here, right? He said, but if one was fell in the beam, the axe had fell into the water. So, of course, you know the Ma'im. You can see baptism here. Like I said, you can see the resurrection here. And he cried, he said, for it was borrowed. Because Mashiach told you, hey, it's somewhere I got to go that you can't come. Because he was given unto you. He said, the man of Elohim say where? And he showed him the place, and he cut down the stick and cast it thither, and the iron did swim. So now, of course, you're looking at it as Mashiach is that stick that is cast into the water that caused you to swim or to float, or you buried with him in baptism. You went into the water in the likeness of his death. You shall be raised in the likeness of his resurrection. And then he said, therefore, he said, take it up to you. And he put out his hand and took it. You know, so that's pointing to, like you said, the resurrection of the dead, baptism, things of that nature. Because that's not a long beginning of it. Just the recovery of the lost axe head. Or also we could look at it as seeking those things which are lost, but now they are found. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate your time this evening. The bless you out of the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Be quiet, son. Dwayne, don't put your hands over his mouth. Come here, son. Come here, boy. What you talking about? What? What else? You want a cup? Yes, sir. So hold it down, my G. Y'all know what that is. What the 20? What, Sunday night is the Day of Atonement observation. Shalom, man. Amen, Margaret, man. Love you too, bro. I'm trying to get to my computer, man. Shalom, Sister J. Calendar. So yeah, Sunday night is beginning of peace rate, man. Hold it down, my G. Is a beginning of atonement observation, so be advised. And y'all know what come after that Monday, so it is what it is. Deuteronomy 19:5. Let me look at it, bro. Let me look at it. No, that's different. Because in Deuteronomy 19, For sure, my G. For sure, brother mom. So listen, right? Deuteronomy 19:5 is saying that when you go into the wood and you hew wood and the axe head that you slips off and hit somebody and they die, peace, brother Omar, is different than what's in Kings, because in that instance, the axe head just fell in the water. So the man was in distress because he borrowed that axe from someone. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna tie into another law with somebody entrusting you with their items, and then they come up missing, or whatever the case may be, and then they have to determine, was it actually lost or is you cuffing it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a little different. That Deuteronomy 19 is dealing with the cities of refuge. That's dealing if you actually like took somebody's life. So again, I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all at the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Y'all with us. So that means y'all know this, right? That means that this service Friday night, uh, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday night. So effectively, 3 days in a row. So yeah, y'all willing till then. All right, y'all.